giant. Hopefully it's Dagger. Stand firm, then, with the belt of truth buckled around your waist, with the breastplate of righteousness in place, and with your feet fitted with the readiness that comes from the gospel of peace. In addition to all this, take up the shield of faith, with which you can extinguish all the flaming arrows of the evil one. Take the helmet of salvation and the sword of the Spirit, which is the Word of God. And pray in the Spirit on all occasions with all kinds of prayers and requests. With this in mind, be alert and always keep on praying for all the Lord's people. Welcome to our first ever episode of Full Armor Outdoors. We are extremely excited to start this new chapter of videoing our hunts and sharing them with you. On this first episode, we got a couple encounters of two of the biggest bucks that we had last year. Don't have either buck on video, unfortunately, because the camera we were using was not very good. But we are able to at least bring the stories of those encounters. As we're going here, hopefully we keep getting better at these shows. But the first episode, we're just going to kind of get working on, see what we can do. First story we got coming up is Champ's encounter with a deer we called Dagger. So, hope you enjoy. This is Dagger, the buck Champ has at 70 yards right now, coming to him off of the pond, heading to the beans to eat for the night. As the bucks are making their way down to Champ, all I can do is sit and pray to see them come out in the field. Unfortunately, this is the closest that buck would get to Champ. Setup on Champ's deer was actually perfect outside of not being able to get up very high in the tree. The deer were doing exactly what we wanted them to do, working their way down to eating the beans. Just unfortunately, he could only get about 4 foot off the ground in that stand. That little buck came in behind him instead of the deer coming right out in front, just like we have pictures of them doing the night before where they walked around the beans. Would have been not about 15 to 18 yards right in front of him. So I'll take blame on that. If I could have moved him, he'd have been set up. Probably would have really, like I said, been sitting behind the biggest deer of his life. So it is just a shame. All fulfilling as a father, but that's hunting. That's why it's not called killing. So, but we learned. We're going to move on from there, and now, like I said, on to our next encounter, our next video, where we got the most seen deer on our farm. This is the start of the story of the Wide Six. The next little video we got here is of a little deer that was the most seen deer on our little farms. I think Champ had him 6 times probably, close to him that he could have shot him. I had him 4 or 5 times, like walking right underneath of us. This deer did live, as we have pictures of him coming up this year. Don't know how he made it through gun season. We all chose not to harvest him because he's probably 13, 14 inches wide and only a year and a half old. Just had no tine length, but was really deceiving because of being that wide. Seen from a distance, you thought it was a better deer coming. So the encounter we're showing here with him, he walks literally right underneath of me. After he had walked right by Champ in another woods about 400 yards away from where I was hunting, he walked right by me. So I think we got the travel past pretty well in those. So Hope you enjoy that footage, and then we'll get to probably my biggest heartbreak of the year in the last story of this video. Well, as you can see, that deer was not shy. We call him the wide 6. He's actually a 7-point this year, is what he kind of grew. Tine length still isn't great, but he's gotten a little bit wider, a little bit taller, so hoping he makes it another year or two. We do have Champ's girlfriend that's probably going to hunt on our land this year. She's not harvested a deer before, so we're telling her whatever deer comes by, you can have it. You know, make a good clean shot. There we go. So hope to see him as many times this year as we did last. Last encounter here, had a deer I'd been hunting for at least 3 years. His name was Browse. Not the biggest scoring deer on our farm, but probably the oldest one that I've been around. I actually saw him the year before and had a standoff with him at 40 yards. Gotten some thick stuff, just could not get a shot at him. This year, he came right to me, 20 yards, knew something wasn't right, bound off a little bit, took a shot. Well, you'll see what happens.
Well, here we are back on the quest. Actually sitting in my woods. I'm hoping this is not recording too fast. I don't know why it would be, but sitting in my woods on the quest for a 3-year-old or older buck. Haven't been in here for quite a few days. We've kind of stayed out in the way. Vacation helped. But it's really, really windy today. It's like 20-mile-an-hour winds out of the west-northwest coming right in our face. So I'm hoping we're down in this river bottom. Bucks may have bedded down in here. Got a freshly cut bean field right behind me. And a standing one. So hoping bucks will come up. Got a nice little creek bottom they like to drink out of. Feed their way, follow their way right on through here. Head out to the fresh cut beans. Sounds like they're also running a cornfield over here to the west, so that's going to help push them this way. So, got a lot of pictures of the turkeys that come back in here and roost. A turkey comes back tonight, we'll shoot it. Got some good deer trails through here. Gorgeous place. I call it the drain stand because it's called the Carless Drain. It's really more of a creek river, but they call it a drain. So, nice cold evening, like 45 degrees, 44 degrees. We're going to come out here, see what we can see. Champ is at another woods, small little patch of woods that the deer really like to travel, cornfields and the fence rows over there. He's out in the middle of this window, so that's kind of crazy. But got pictures of one of our target bucks over there. Got Pumpkin Spice, actually got a picture of him over there. I'm in here really after browse or splits. The grade 8's in here. Nice, maybe 4-year-old. Another 3-year-old 8-point in here, so there's about 3 or 4 deer in here I shoot. Deer starting to get on their feet, make scrapes. So we're really getting geared up. Supposed to warm up a little bit here towards the weekend, and then towards the end of next week the temperatures just drop. It's going to be 30 at night, 50 during the day. Just great pre-rut action. So stay tuned. Hopefully something comes in front. Half debated if I can get it on camera to shoot a doe if she's by herself. I can hear the wind going. But we really don't like shooting does in here. We want to let this population grow. So, get my face mask on. Sit still. Tied to the tree to be safe. The hoist's all fixed and ready to rock. Ready to eat, I should say. Trying out the new Rage tri-pans this year. We've been shooting Rage for years and absolutely just love them. They do the job really, really well. That happened so quick. I couldn't even get the camera on him. And I wasn't going to let him leave, I'm sorry. It was Browse, the number one deer I'm after. I had an encounter with him about this time last year. I thought I missed. Thought I hit a limb, but he didn't. Kind of mule kick. And ran off. I went over to go check the arrow. And there's blood. Not a ton, but not bad. So I'm going to let it sit. Champ's just asking me. I'm going to let it sit. I think that's the right thing to do. Because the arrow's not covered. But there is blood. It may just be a muscle hit, I don't know. I'm hoping not. Hoping I snuck it in there and got heart. He was right down here in the creek.
After about 3 hours of tracking, we came to the conclusion it was a muscle hit. Pictures later showed the proof as he was chasing a doe about a month later. But he has grown and is back this year, hoping I get another chance. Thank you for watching our first ever episode of Full Armor Outdoors. I hope you really enjoyed it. Now, I have had a lot of fun making all these videos and will have many more to come uploaded. The only thing I can ask that you just do is get out and enjoy God's world. Whether it's hunting, fishing, just hiking, it's a beautiful place that we live in.